Welcome to Seat Time, everybody. We get to do another fun interview tonight. Why? Because it is Wednesday, and on Wednesday nights, that's typically when we like to have all of our fun interviews. We have somebody a little bit different. They're technically an off-road rider because of the fact that they ride dirt bikes, but luckily enough, we get to talk with Ryan Morais tonight. Ryan Morais is motocross, supercross rider. With the fame of his wreck with Trey Kennard. Obviously, he was well known before that, but that really just kind of boosted his name, unfortunately, into the news. We'll maybe find out a little bit about that. He may not want to talk about it, and that's okay if he doesn't. But at the same time, we've got all kinds of fun stuff to talk about because he's the new team manager of the Star Valley Yamaha team. And I want to know more about that. I know you guys want to know more about that. So first off, just Ryan, I know how's it going tonight? How's your evening going?
Yeah, everything's going good. We had a long day of testing today at the track. I actually rode today. I helped do some of the riding and testing side of everything still. So it's going really good to be able to help the younger kids on our team and kind of eliminate some stuff that they don't necessarily need to do. So we're able to kind of thin things down that we know work and what don't work, and able to give them the best packages that we could come up with. So it kind of lets them continue training and doing what they need to do. And then when we do test with them, we know that we have everything lined up that's the best available.
Yeah, I think it's... I have to admit to the fact that I did just about as much research as physically possible on this. I have to say, you made me very nervous. I think that there's just a lot that kind of went on with all the Trey Kennard stuff like that, with the big wreck, kind of where you were at with that stuff, and the fact that, we've started having interviews and shows with people that are a little bit more well-known, and it makes me nervous. So if I screw up and say anything dumb, you are more than welcome to call me out and make fun of me for it, and we'll just kind of continue to move on. I did listen to the Steve Matthews show that you did a couple weeks ago multiple times. Yep. I'm not trying to recreate any of that. Matthews does his own thing. And, I look better than him. I'm just going to say it. I think it's possible. But, so I think it's one of the things that I caught from that, though, was the fact that you still ride. I think it's interesting how you kind of came into this new team manager role. You're still very young. There are not very many team managers out there that are your age. So the fact that you're still in your mid-20s as a team manager for essentially one of the largest privateer teams out there, but you guys have factory support, so I don't even know if you'd be considered a privateer team. Do you feel that you might not be up to the task, or do you think you have a completely different outlook than, say, guys that are 20 years, your senior?
Well, I wish I was mid-20s. I'll turn 30 in February.
Woo!
So
it's okay. I don't look it, but I'm
a little bit
33.
older than most people think.
Yeah. It's that pretty boy face.
We're not considered a privateer team. We got factory backing from Yamaha, and they give us a lot of support. And it is a big role for me, for sure, with everything that I want to do for the team and offer to them, with working with the riders and testing and developing the bike. And then not only doing that, the team manager side of stuff, like taking care of the flights, making sure sponsors, doing the bike graphics, like approving all that stuff. That's kind of what I've been going through all this week. And we used to be Star Valley, but we are no longer Star Valley. We're just Star Racing. The two teams only merged for 1 year, and we separated this year, so we're two separate teams. Mm-hmm. And so Star Racing is kind of back to its original form that it was, as just a lights.
Okay, before that merger. Okay, see, and unfortunately, when I was trying to do all my research to make sure I had it right, I completely fucked it up, and my mind just went the other way. So that sucks, but hey, I'm going to get it right. And so that's interesting. Okay, so because that was when you guys wound up with like the 7 different riders, right, last year?
Yeah. Valley, like last year when we merged, that's kind of what brought the 450 rider side to it. So with the separation and going back to the original program, it's just lights bikes only now. So there's no 450 guys. And we actually did it a lot different this year, and I'm really excited about the way we made the program. We're going to have Kyle Cunningham on the West Coast, and only him. So it gives us really time to focus on one rider and give him everything he needs. and then we have Jeremy Martin riding the East Coast for us. So it's just a really good program to give each rider a lot of attention and everything they need, and to provide really good practice bikes to them, because we don't have 4 guys, so we don't need so many parts. So we're able to supply them with a lot closer to a race bike with the less amount of parts that we have to use now.
Yeah. And that was definitely something that I heard you guys talking about on multiple interviews and on the Mathis show and stuff like that. I think, I mean, obviously he asked it and I asked it as well. I think I asked it a little bit different in the sense that, you had an unexpected injury in the fact that you landed on another rider and, you were out for the rest of the season, and then, possibly that might have been caused, part of the reason you retired early. I mean, do you not think that any kind of that history that you've gone through doesn't make you plan differently for having no backup riders, or have you guys found, a plan for that moving forward, like in the past 2 weeks? Like, I mean, if somebody were to get hurt, but, obviously it could happen. So.
Yeah, I mean, obviously anything can happen. That's something that we would obviously discuss more if we got stuck in that situation, and hopefully we don't.
Not that I want.
We have both of our riders out here in California right now, and they both look really, really good. So I'm super, super excited to go racing with these guys. I think with what we've done with the team this year and kind of change the program, I think it's going to really surprise a lot of people, and have high expectations for my riders for this year. And definitely, like, going back a little bit with, being injured and going through everything that I went through this year with what happened. And I was very fortunate that, Bobby came to me about this, and I kind of had like a little trial run as team manager at the end of the Nationals. So I got a little taste of it before I like fully committed in. So I finished out the last 2 months of Nationals as team manager at the team, and then just really thought about it. And Bobby just gave me an opportunity that was too good to pass up. And with me kind of getting, to the older side for a motocross racer, being in the 30s, it was like I was more worried about building a solid future that I can, build on and have something solid for a long time. And I feel like this is the right route for me. And I'm very happy and with everything that I did in my racing career, and I'm able to, I think I accept it. So I'm able to move forward and focus on this next chapter.
Hell yeah. Well, I think it's going to be a fantastic chapter. I think that you moving forward as a rider, where you've been and the accomplishments that you've had, the team has already done well up to the fact of where you're at now, joining it before the Nationals, and they've already done well in the Nationals, and now you coming forward. One of the questions I have about the fact that, your retirement was a little, I guess, not kind of sudden. Everybody saw you coming back riding, like, yes, awesome, he's gonna come back too. And so, do you think that did you lose a mental edge? That's a weird question, and the reason why I kind of ask it is because say like with James Stewart, like, he seems different. He's had weird wrecks and stuff like that. Now, and I know as a rider that, after I had my concussion, and I'm nobody, just a enduro cross rider in Texas, but after I had my concussion, I never really could ever get back there. And so I'm wondering, on y'all's professional level, if did anything like that come into play for you, or, was it just really just a better opportunity that you wanted to look at?
I mean, I definitely, I had a really bad post-concussive syndrome where I was kind of in my own world for 2 or 3 months. So it was pretty rough there for a while, like after the injury, and definitely rough on my family and my wife. And we had a 6-month-old son at the time. And so it was definitely, I guess, an eye-opener to what's really important in life to me. And my family is very high up to me. So it's just I can't really say I've lost the mental edge, because when I ride, I feel good. Right. I'll go out there and ride and feel great, and I don't think twice about jumping anything, and everything's good. But I also know, as a professional athlete, practicing and racing is completely different.
Okay.
So I can't really say like if there is something there. I don't know, and I probably won't ever know because I'm kind of moved on.
Yeah.
So, and I'm very happy about moving on and doing what I'm doing and looking forward to helping these kids and getting race results through them by giving them everything that I can offer them and just being there for them and kind of, like if they go out and get on the podium or win a race, I'm sure it's going to feel like like when I would do it myself,
Right.
because I definitely, if everyone's playing a big part in this. We have two really good mechanics, Brad, the motor guy who works super hard, and then Bobby, the team owner, who's willing to let us do what we want to do to go out there and make sure that our bikes are at the top and able to go out there and win.
Rock on. I actually I have a 6.5-year-old daughter and a 4-month-year-old son, or 4-month-old son. And as I was reading through a lot of notes and stuff like that I had been taking leading up to tonight, I noticed. I think your wife had mentioned that was the age of your son Crew. When everything kind of went down late this January. So
Yeah,
with him being 4 months old, and I know now, like, he kind of smiles and responds a little bit, but obviously there's no real communication. But you had your jaw wired shut. You had 3 jaw surgeries. So obviously you said that there was some strain on your family and stuff like that. But was it just like, how was it trying to, what you knew you wanted to be as a father, but then unfortunately what you could only do just kind of because of your injuries and stuff. Just coming from a father to a
yeah.
father.
I mean, it was. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain the beginning part of it. It's all like so blurry to me. Like I don't remember being in the hospital. I don't remember having my surgeries,
Right.
like my first year surgeries, or there's about a 3.5 week period where it's just blank to me. Like I don't really remember anything. And then even like for a while, like I would have a hard time remembering what I did the day before. So that I would say that had a lot to do with my decision, just of not wanting to put myself or my family or anyone in that type of position
Yeah.
again.
Totally, totally respectable, but by all means, because I understand that, and it's become way more apparent with my own family. Just kind of like when I go to work now, I don't just go. When I used to go to work before I was married and we had kids and stuff, I just went to work. And now I'm like, well, I'm actually going to work so I can have money to then come home, support my family, all that kinds of stuff, and
Yeah.
what we do together. So, absolutely respectable.
Yes.
Like, and then you're married to Andrew Short's sister. Did I get all? I mean, is that kind of how the brother-in-law part works out? Okay,
Yeah.
so how is that? Because he is in Texas now. We've been trying to hit him up, trying to hang out, and just create a little bit of awesome. But is that just like the craziest time ever? I mean, he just turned 30. How was that? Birthday.
No, I mean it's super cool. Like we've been together for a really really long time. Like dude, I can't even 11 or 12 years
I mean, she
now.
could probably hear you, so watch out.
And yeah, and it's just like they're seriously like I mean family to me. Like
Right.
I could talk to them about anything, and it's just it's really really cool, and just to have all that support around me of both sides from my family and her family, and me and Andrew are super good friends. We talk every week, a couple times a week, hang out, whatever, and it's I wouldn't want it any other way. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
it seems great with the relationship that you see that say like Andrew Short has with Ken Roxon. Just everybody, video and all that stuff. It seems like
Yeah.
being part of that would be absolutely phenomenal. So, I can only imagine that his sister is probably not just better looking, but probably way cooler as well. So, and a female, so it always helps out. Well, going forward,
I've always made it pretty easy. Like, I mean, she grew up around
right?
everything, so she kind of knew, I guess, how everything goes as far as a
Right.
racer. So it was pretty easy for me to go ride, train, do my thing, and not have any issues with anything. So, um, I don't know. Maybe I mean it just everything's always been pretty smooth. So I'm very thankful for everything in my life and the life that I've had so far.
Yes, as you should be. So, okay, I hate to just kind of like keep feeling like I'm completely rolling off of Mathis's stuff, but he mentioned the Moto Inside the Outdoors a lot. I've been watching it every single week, and you're now a father.
Yep.
We've been seeing about all this kinds of crap about the industry and how it's taking advantage of these people and parents and just the conflict of interest there, and with say like Josh Grant and his child. So moving forward, how would you feel about your son growing up and then trying to become a professional racer if that talent and desire, blossoms?
I mean, I'm gonna let my son do kind of what he wants. Like,
Right.
that's what he wants to go after. I'm not gonna hold him back from trying to make his dreams come true, and that's kind of what my family let me do. And so I'm not gonna tell him no. I'm not gonna let you do that. Like, if he's gonna put all of his focus into it and really wants to go for it, then I'm 100% behind him
Yeah.
to be there and give him and do whatever I can to help him get to where he wants to be.
Which is again the way it should be. Yeah, I'm kind of.
I mean, if that's racing, if that's going to college, whatever it is, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be wind up supporting my son going to plumbing school, but if he wants to become a badass plumber, whatever, that's fine too. Again, it's as long as he's happy and it doesn't completely break the bank. I guess we're probably kind of going along a happy path in an interesting medium. But
Yeah.
so with Kyle Cunningham, we did an interview with him. I'd say probably about a month and a half ago, and then we got Jeremy Martin. So Kyle Cunningham's been in the lights class for a very long time. Jeremy Martin, his name has come up. Obviously, his brother Alex Martin. So tell us a little bit about how you see these guys. Obviously, one's a West Coast, one's an East Coast, but some of their likenesses and some of their differences, and maybe how, as in the training and stuff like that, how they're attacking, coming forward to the new season differently, or maybe similarly. I wouldn't know, but I would like to know from you.
Yeah, Kyle has his program pretty figured out, and I don't really try to change anything on him, as he's got everything scheduled really, really good, and I know that he's doing everything right that he needs to be doing. So I'm not worried about that at all. Like, he rides a lot, trains a lot. Like, that kid is definitely really focused going into this year. And then there's Jeremy, who's definitely a younger kid, but he definitely doesn't lack the effort. That kid will do whatever it takes, and it's cool. Like, he rides. I haven't seen anyone ride as much as he does, and he's actually living in Florida, training at Ricky's house. So he's definitely taken the right steps to do everything that he can to succeed. So we just flew him out here on Monday, and he's out here for a week and a half for testing, and then he goes back to Florida to Ricky's farm, and he's got a couple months to button up what he needs to work on.
Yeah. So is it kind of weird that so many riders are going down to Ricky's and stuff, and maybe now that Ricky's Carmichael's a team owner, so I mean, is that like a weird dynamic at all, or is that just kind of like people go and train at Carmichael's? That's it.
Well, from what I understand, I don't think there's really too many people there. Like, he helps his riders on his team. But from what I understand, I think the only two down there riding is Dungy and I believe Les Smith. So there's really not that many people. Like, if you were to go look at MTF or some of those places where there's a lot of kids at those ones. So he gets a lot of one-on-one time with Ricky, helps him, and then Ricky's mom has a lot to do with his program, and they schedule everything out really, really good for him. So it's pretty easy for him to stay on track, and it's good because he really trusts them, and which I understand it would be kind of hard not to trust from the Carmichael side. So it's cool, and it's cool to see him really make that commitment, his first year, all right, I'm going to do everything I possibly can to go out there and make sure I succeed at this. So it's cool.
Hell yes. Okay, I see a ton of wicked awesome helmets behind you. So of the 5 that are up there at the very top, which one's your favorite? And then what's the story behind it that would make it your favorite helmet?
Well, those are just a few. I have a lot more of my helmets in here in my office. But uh, I think this. Here, let me grab. This one's my coolest one. This one is probably like my favorite one.
Ooh,
Caroli sent it to me.
hell yeah.
So this is like one of Caroli's GP helmets from last year. So that's like my cool. That's one of my favorite ones. I think. Like just as a he sent it to me when we had my son, and just like as a gift. So it was super cool, and he's a really cool dude. I got to meet him when I went over and did some races over there, and got to hang out with him, and yeah, I was super pumped when I got that thing. But and then I also have like I've always kind of done where I keep my race helmet from every year, and front number plate off my race bike, and a credential. So I have like those in cases too.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah, I keep meaning to actually put together something. I've got a bunch of guys that I've like. I don't have a Caroli helmet, but I've got a couple jerseys from different guys and things like that, things that are signed, and I keep meaning to do something with them, put them somewhere, and make it much better. But as you can tell behind me, unfortunately, that has not happened. It is still a shithole in this room, and I figure one day it'll look like somewhat of an official moto office. If not, we'll just make it keep looking like a crappy office. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, mine's not really just moto. I got some family pictures, and then like on my front right here, because I'm super into cycling, and I know Tom Danielson pretty good, and he sent me a jersey I got of his, so I got that frame like a signed Garmin Cervelo team from him from when he did the tour last. And then I also got Andrew Short's trainer is good, like knows Lance, and he got me a Lance Armstrong jersey signed when I got hurt, so I got that frame too.
Damn.
So my office got some decent cool stuff that I'm pumped about.
Did Lance sign it one nut, or did he actually put like Lance Armstrong on there?
He put Lance Armstrong
That
on
jerk.
there.
That jerk. That's funny. So cycling, as in, are you more into road bikes, mountain biking, or do you kind of go back and forth, or how'd you get into that?
I just got into it from training, and then I've just really enjoyed it, and it kind of turned into a hobby for me instead of like a training tool. I don't know. I just really enjoyed going out and riding and getting away, and so that's kind of like that was like my hobby when I race. Like I love to just get out on my bicycle for a few hours and just go out and ride and get away from everyone.
Yeah. And imagine in Southern California, weather-wise, is it a little bit easier to be able to do that all year round? I mean, you probably just throw like a long sleeve jersey on, opposed to say like full like knitted kit and stuff like that, or
Yeah, this pretty. I mean, you pretty much ride year round, unless obviously if it's raining that day. But you just leg warmers, arm warmers, and windbreaker and run it.
Ooh, yeah, I know. Around here in Texas, man, I think it was like 19 degrees today, and I would not want to be thinking about trying to get out there and riding that crap. That would just absolutely suck, man. There's no way. I'm actually way more of a mountain biker, though. I've definitely done my fair share of road cycling just for kind of like training towards like some of the mountain bike races that I've done. But man, I don't know what the deal is. Like getting out on the road bike sometimes, I'm just kind of like,
Yeah, I just got my first mountain bike about 2 months ago. Unfortunately, I've only got to ride it like 4 times because I've been so busy. But it's definitely fun. Like I wish I would have got into it earlier, but hopefully I can start sneaking out on it some more since we've kind of got more stuff finalized.
Well, I take it then that are you guys going to have the same? Are you going to have Cooper Webb added to the team for outdoors? Is that how timing wise that's going to work out?
Yeah, Cooper will race the Spring Nationals in Texas, the amateur stuff, and then come out here and start getting ready for Income.
Start dropping the gates a little bit faster. 40 guys. So that means that unfortunately you're not going to be able to go do much downhill mountain biking then if you were like to try to go out to Mammoth or Big Bear or something like that, huh?
I went mountain biking at Mammoth in when was that? August. I went up there for like 3 days, and I got to go do some mountain biking. It was awesome. And then actually went up there in November, end of October, and we went up there right for opening weekend and hung out in the snow. And I took my son sledding and stuff. So I've got to sneak up there a couple times. I like Mammoth a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, I got I think it was back in like 99 or 2000. I actually went out to Big Bear for
Yep.
some big like downhill Norba National back when Norba was still around, and that was like my first like flight to go race expert and all that crap and everything, and that was like a whole new ball game. It says like motherfuckers train out in California. Like, holy shit. So they're fast. So if you're gonna go play around doing some downhilling, you'll be all right. But if you're gonna go race, train, because damn, kids are fast. So
you're not gonna see me racing mountain bikes.
maybe for fun later on. I mean, you got a Lance jersey. You know, he races mountain bikes for fun. You could do that.
I don't know.
You could do that. I have faith in you. I know quite a few people that you would want to try to beat. That's cool. So expectations, just I'm not a big fan on predictions because predictions can always just be screwed up. But I mean expectations. What do you want to see? Going in halfway through the season, into the season, and then going into outdoors and stuff like that. Like, what's gonna make you the happiest?
I just want my guys to be up front every weekend, and I'd love to see them get on the podium as many times as they can, and that would make me really, really happy. And Jeremy, I kind of got a little different goals for him. I just want him to get through the first couple races and learn what he needs to learn and be in the top 5 and then work his way forward from there, which I think is very possible. And Kyle, I expect to be up front a lot, and I don't even know what I would do if he won a race. Like, I'd be so pumped, and that's what we're working for. Is I believe in that he can do that, and that's why I've been working so hard. Is I figured these guys are working hard, so I'm gonna work just as hard as them, doing what I needed to make sure that bike, and same with the motor guy, Brad. That guy, he works on the weekends. Like, he's there until 1 in the morning. Like, he does anything it takes right now. So definitely our team is not lacking effort. I'll tell you that.
Well, I would think I have never been a part of anything that large. Maybe, I don't know, maybe my 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 job would be considered something that large, but I would imagine that in that situation that everybody's wanting to put forth as much effort as possible, because in the long run, nobody wants a bike to blow up, nobody wants suspension to be wrong, nobody wants an email to be missed and hotel rooms to be wrong. So I think it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going to be an A1. I live in Texas, and I have a regular job. As we were talking about the family, all that crap. But, you're coming to Texas twice for Dallas and for Houston. So hopefully we'll make this some supercrosses, and we'll kick ass and take names. I think so.
Yeah. Texas round should be good. I know Kyle's excited for those because he's a Texas boy, so he always gets excited for those. Absolutely. So.
Cool, man. Well, I can tell your family's getting restless. That's no worries on our part, man. But just give a shout out to at least where everybody can find you if they don't already follow you on all your little social networks. And obviously, I appreciate you for being on.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It was definitely cool to do this. I know it was kind of a hassle trying to figure a schedule out. I know you've been trying to schedule it for a while. I'm glad that we got it worked out. I don't really tweet as much as I used to because I've been pretty busy, but my Twitter name's just Morais116, and then the same with Instagram. It's just Morais116, and super excited. I think the little dude wants to come say hi. Can you say hi?
What's up, dude?
Can you wave to him? So this is my son, Crew.
What's up, Crew?
Thanks for having me on, and maybe we could get it worked out where we could get some more riders on here sometime.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Crew. We're going to have you on later on in life when you're future riding a Cobra or something like that, 50cc for sure. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Last year I did do a little bit with one of the KTM teams. We got to meet them before the Dallas Supercross. We got to hang out and got to do an episode. So I don't, just keep that in mind if you're coming into Dallas and it doesn't seem too hectic, or maybe Houston, however you think it would work. But I do have to tell everybody that this is Seat Time. You can find us at seattime.co. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/seattime, and as well on Twitter. So Twitter, we're at seattime_co. Seat Time, one word, on Instagram if you want to follow us there and find us. I can't say thank you enough. Ryan Morais, I know you've been through a lot, but I think you've been through it for all the right reasons, and it seems like things are getting awesome for you, and we really appreciate you being on, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Always enjoy a pint full of awesome. Remember that. And we'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.